Hello everyone, I am Sakshi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I am going to talk about something that I have struggled with for the longest period of time, and I'm sure that most of us struggle with the same thing at some point in our lives. And that is to set boundaries respectfully. Especially if you're someone who care deeply about others. We want to be available 24/7, we want to help others, we do not want to disappoint anyone, and somewhere in that process, we end up saying yes to the things that do not matter. And by doing that, we are indirectly saying no to the things that actually matter in our lives. So if you have struggled with setting boundaries in your life, then this video is for you. And I'm going to share some practical tips that have helped me a lot to define my boundaries clearly. And I'm sure it's going to help you as well. So let's get started with the video. Firstly, let's try to understand that why we feel guilty or why it is so difficult for us to set a clear boundaries in our lives. So I think as humans, our instinct is to please others. We have been grown up thinking that being kind means being available for others 24/7. We think that what if I say no, the other person might think that I don't care for them. And we convince ourselves by saying that in our mind that this is what a good person should do. But what we often miss in this process is that every single time we say yes to the things that drain us, we are saying no to our own peace, to our own rest, and to the things that actually recharge us. And that is why this guilt shows up, not because setting boundaries is something wrong, but because we have been conditioned in a way to think that if we are setting boundaries or if we are saying no to someone for our own peace, then we are being selfish. And it is just a thought that have been inculcated in our minds by the society. And the most tricky part about not setting a boundaries, especially if you are someone who deeply cares, is that you will not realize the harm at first. At first, you will think that you are a very good person because you are being available to others at all cost, even when it is draining you, even when you are feeling overwhelmed after that. But with time, you will start feeling emotionally drained. You will start feeling very resentful and you will not be able to give your 100% to the bonds or to the things that actually matter in your life, because you are busy saying yes to the things that are draining you or that are draining your energy, and slowly and gradually this things becomes a cycle, and you will not get out of it until you take a necessary or required steps. I want to address something very important here, that setting boundaries is not like setting a wall. It is more like setting a guidelines that you set to protect your peace, your energy, and to give better in the bonds that matter in your life. And honestly, boundaries are not about pushing people away from your life. They are more about you being conscious where you want to invest your energy and time. When you stop protecting your energy and time, you don't give less, you just start giving better. This shift from self guilt to self respect is something where the guilt will lose its power. The moment you understand and you tell your mind this thing that you are setting boundaries because you want to give better in your bonds, in your relationships, and it is not about pushing people away from your life, it is more about giving you better at every single thing that you want. Boundaries are about that you are being conscious that where you want to channelize or invest your energy and where you want to avoid and protect your time. So, let me tell you some of the practical steps that you can incorporate in your life that will help you to set your boundaries respectfully. The very first is notice what drains you. This is very important. This will give you a lot of clarity, because once you understand that what are the situations or what are the things or people are draining your energy, you will have much more clarity about where you want to skip or where you want to say no. The second thing is start small. Setting boundaries at first is always going to be awkward. It's always going to make you feel that you are being selfish or you are doing something wrong. But until you will start, you will realize that this is what is protecting your energy and your time and how important it is. So always start small, take a small initiative, take a small step. For example, if someone is calling you to go out somewhere and you don't have time or you are not interested going there, Just say a simple no, just text them a simple no and tell your reasons with it. The third thing is don't over explain your reasons. The people who actually care about you, the people who understand you or who value your time, will always understand that why you are canceling on something or why you are saying no to certain things. And honestly, setting boundaries is not just about saying no to every single thing. It is about, as I said you, that being conscious about where you are investing your time, energy, and effort. One thing that I want to tell you clearly is that setting boundaries will never push people away. It will only make your connections more deeper and more understanding. So, if a guilt comes up when you set a boundary, just remind yourself that this is not because you're doing something wrong. It is because you're doing something new, something that you are doing to protect your peace, to protect your energy, and to protect your own time. So, start with setting a small boundary this week, and you will realize that how peaceful your life feels when you start saying no to the things at the expense of yourself. Because at the end of the day, we all deserve relationships and bonds that uplift us and not drains us. So I just want to tell you that set your boundary and protect your peace, but always be available for the people who matter in your life whenever they need you. I really hope that you liked watching this video or you learned something from this video. And if you did, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and be a part of this community. And I'll see you guys in my next video with something meaningful. Till then, take care. Have a very good day.